We are Skull of St. George, Portland, and this is the knowledge portion of the Blue Belt test for Joel and Nick. So, students should spend some time looking at the other great contemporary systems. So, what do you guys know about it?
German was pronounce his name's like Lichtenauer or something like that. They were training primarily for duels, mostly fighting at distance. There's also a lot of like inverting the sword and like point down stuff.
High held actions.
Yeah, and away from the body too.
Yeah.
Opposed to Italian, which is more for like combat, even though Fiore taught for judicial duels.
Whereas German might be better for getting the first strike. Fiore wanted control.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Germans call seizing the initiative like that?
No.
Taking the war.
Taking the war.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who was Vadi?
Vadi was the successor, I guess, to Fiore, the next great Italian master, although they never met. He was about 100 years later.
The student of Fiore, even though he never could have met him since it was over a century later.
What did Vadi add to Fiore's system?
Yes, the high
eagle.
Falcone?
Yes,
Falcone.
that's the Falcone. Alright. Let's see. So, you have completed the intermediate medieval swordsmanship class. Learned Fiore's of Largo plays, and do you feel confident fighting at speed against a similar leveled opponent?
I've been doing it for a while, so
Yeah.
I'd say yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I didn't have my doubts on that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, shoot. We didn't do breath weapon plays.
We were supposed to do those too?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I don't have energy to go through all the plays again. But
that's fair. We can probably do this another day as well.
yeah.
Yeah. But I have completed one or more breath courses with a minimum of 8 hours of classroom study. I mean,
I'm trained in spear, dagger, and pole hammer,
Yeah.
so I think I got that.
have you declared a breath weapon?
I did back then, and I'm going to probably abandon that weapon. So.
What weapon was it? Just out of curiosity.
Tonfus.
Yeah, he was doing European.
Alright.
I never felt comfortable with them, so it would not make sense for me to emphasize that. So probably it'll be shield and buckler for me.
Shield and buckler. Okay. Shield and buckler?
Yes, 2 shields.
Oh, sword and buckler.
Alright. We should probably do some more practice with those, unless you think you're ready to do the Elefante plays with them right now.
No.
Okay. Let's see. And then got a helmet or mask, a gorget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hand and body protection and weapon simulator. And then tournament qualification. Okay. And do you pledge to continue your study and companionship with the other Scola students?
I do.
Excellent. Okay. So tell me about Fiore's background and who was he?
He was an Italian swordsmaster in the late 14th, early 15th century who primarily taught people for judicial duels in
Milan.
Milan.
He was based in Milan, but
not so savory parts of town.
that part, yeah.
Sorry, Joel, do you want to take some? I could keep
Sure.
going, but...
Sure. Even though his fighting style isn't specifically for duels, primarily his students were of the class that dueling would happen. They weren't just your common peasants. So he was teaching people to duel with his system.
He claims to have fought no less than 5 false masters of the sword.
Geographically, there wasn't really any way he would have encountered the other great masters of his time because they were not in Italy.
Yeah. Where were they?
Germany?
Yes. All right.
Not France.
Not
Tell-
France.
Tell me about the Senyo.
Senyo is the master surrounded by 4 animals and 7 swords. You want me to start with anything particular?
Can you tell us the animals and what they represent and what they're holding?
Sure. Alright, at the base is Elefante.
Mm-hmm.
Elefante is stability or fortitude, and it has a fortress on the back. To the side is,
Which side?
oh boy, I'm afraid dyslexic, so I think left is Leone.
Mm-hmm.
Leone is courage, the lion is holding its own heart, or a heart, but it is about seizing the initiative, being aggressive.
Do you know the big fancy word? Big fancy English word?
Audacity.
Alright.
Audacity.
I'm gonna have you do the last one of these. So.
Okay. Tigre? Tigre
Where's the tigre?
is to the other side of the line, across the body,
Mm-hmm.
and that is speed
Mm-hmm.
and control. So it's being able to do things really well, really fast. So something that you train to be able to do.
What's it holding?
Oh, it is holding an arrow.
Mm-hmm. A bolt. And then
Okay.
do you know the weird English word we use for that?
Yeah. It's a real fancy word and I can't remember it right now. It's not rapido, so it's like
Rapidity of movement. Is that what it
yes,
means?
yes.
I don't remember the technical word for that.
Celerity.
Celerity.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us that last one?
It's the Lynx, which is Servino. It controls the mental aspects of the fight. Calculating battle and strategy and tactics and things like that.
Tactics. I have tactics. Stupid joke from Anchorage. Okay. Let's see.
It holds a compass
Mhm.
in its hand, or well, in front of it.
What are they all wearing?
They're all wearing a collar,
Mm-hmm. And what is Fiore wearing?
a crown.
King wears the crown.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What are the 7 strikes of the sword?
Fendente,
Mm-hmm.
Mazzani, strike, or Sotani.
Mm-hmm. And
Punta.
I
usually think of a thrust as a strike, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. So, how can the animals be used as a tactical guide in terms of your opponent's approach to the fight?
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're approaching your opponent, you should probably be using links to analyze what they're going to do. After you've made an analytical decision, now you have to have your strategy implemented where, especially between lion and tigre, you're going to make a decision.
if you're
Elefante is the most fundamental principle, and you should always be keeping a stable platform that is adaptive to whatever they might throw at you. So
while attempting to attack your opponent's platform.
right,
and throw
so
them
that's
off.
true. Yeah. So one way to use Elefante is just to overpower them by like taking their center and forcing them down or something.
Okay.
If someone's approaching very courageously and seems to know exactly what they're doing, you're going to want to try and be faster than them and seize initiative while remaining courageous and in control of the situation.
Excellent. So, let's see. I am going to ask you this question first. What are the differences between duo, mezzo, and stesso tempo?
Stesso is your standard strike, which is a strong strike that will both give you offense and defense. Mezzo is it's more of a breaking strike to break what they're doing. It's a faster strike. It has less power. It may restore control back to you. Duo tempo is usually, once you know that they're committed to something, is making a variation of your own thing to either switch it or overpower them or do something to basically totally flip the fight. So, does that make sense?
All right.
Stresso tempo is single time.
What are you calling it?
Stresso tempo.
Stesso, but
Stesso.
it's here as Stesso.
Okay.
No, I just appreciate that you call it stresso tempo.
Italian, German,
Japanese.
Japanese, a little bit of French, whatever this language we're speaking right now.
For
is.
William.
No, I meant English.
Oh.
Alright, so single time, duo tempo is double time, and mezzo tempo is half time, or middle time.
Okay.
Strikes in mezzo tempo are usually thrown from the arms of the wrist and are like interrupting the regular flow of combat. Stresso tempo is in single time you're attacking and defending at the same time. And whereas duo tempo is like the more powered attacks, but are one or the other. It's usually an attack, but it could be defense. Not always both.
Okay. Let's see. Explain the principles. Okay. So then skill requirements. Have internalized the post-A, discussing the strengths, weaknesses, and uses for each. So when we do breath weapon stuff, we should also film you going through the post-A.
Okay.
And let's see. So tell me about the turnings of the sword.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of that already. The 3 turns of the sword mirror the 3 turns of the feet. So you have volta stabile, mezzo volta, and tuta volta of the sword. Volta stabile would be stable turn, so it's just like turning the blade. Whereas mezzo volta usually accompanies a turn of the hips and is more like a full turn of the sword. And then tuta volta is what we did in play 4 of the Zova Largo, so the blade completely turns and is powered by, I guess, your opponent's weapon in that case, but yeah, full rotation of the sword.
All right. Do you have anything to add?
That was pretty well covered, but you know.
Do you want to tell me about the turns of the feet?
Okay. Same thing. So, Nick mentioned that we've got the 3 different turns. There's a snowboy? Am I saying this right? I'm tired. I have a condition. Volta stabile, tuta volta, and mezzo volta. Thank you.
Yes.
Volta. So mezzo volta is more about changing the orientation of the feet. Very useful in certain fights to change your line for them. Your stable turn is more like, so when you turn, you step, you're always going to make tuta stabile. So it's more about control through the hips, powering your body.
Is there any other way to do a volta stabile?
I mean, advancing, retreating.
Can you do it just by shifting your weight?
You can, yes. You can change which hip is powered.
Okay. And then,
Two difficultad is actual like rotation around a center. You can do that with the front leg, you can do it with the back leg. It's usually done to meet an opponent that's coming at you from a direction that's different, or in various cases where you're doing like the counter to a thing, you're going to step laterally and then stabile out to be centered again and complete your attack.
alright. Demonstrate the ability to analyze a Rolargo plays according to how the play functions in each of the 3 times as appropriate.
We did that while filming.
Yeah. And be able to manage an inspiring engagement and maintain. Sorry. Excellent. Okay. So all that we have left is you can get the video.